Hey. So before I was trying to mid-max Visum Vaults, I was trying different stuff with the short bow and the long bow, with the range and melee armor. And I also discovered the fact that this goes a long way. This 5% damage reduction is actually worth more than the 700 health you get from the rejuvenation ring. Also, it's a lot cheaper, so it's not that we're gonna die, but if we die, you know. Especially, I was trying the last stream and I didn't have my microphone working. I was talking about the fact that all the unsold items for creepy coins, the virtuals that got left, dropped in pumpkins in the last day, and it's definitely worth picking them up because this is actually a good. It was very good. Like, look at this, a peekaboo, which is an epic relic that actually can save you 3 times from dying by making you invisible, is worth 20k versus a green rejuvenation ring, which is 32. So, and also the fact that there's not a lot of skins, and now that the skins that you could get from the general store are removed, this virtual skin is actually kind of the only skin you can get your hands on without actually having shadow stones in the game. So at 42k, this is very cheap. So these are dirt cheap and you can pick them up. If you have the money, go for it. The Halloween it's good because you need pets as well, and for 20k, like, look at this. This is 37k, and this is really, really, really hard to get. You get it from, if you have 5 vouchers, which you cannot purchase. You have to drop from the 7-day loot box. So basically, each week you have a chance to get one, and you most likely will get a scroll which gives you a title. So the stuff that was virtual during the event is really cheap now and is worth picking up. It will definitely skyrocket by Christmas, I believe. So yeah, let's run some Visum, because I actually ended up using this setup, which feels most comfortable, I would say. So let's see. So our goal is to not use the fishes and the healing potion during our run. Okay, let's grab that gold because we are dirt poor. And let's run some Visum. It's not the easiest dungeon, to be honest. I actually believe it's one of the hardest. But we did about 12 runs and I got a little bit more comfortable with it. There's a lot of burn damage, We ended up going for the longbow for the range. The short bow is actually pretty nice here, but I just found I take a lot less damage with the longbow, and it also like matters how well I juke attacks and stuff. But definitely the 5% damage reduction that you get from the amulet goes a long way in here. A long, long way. Yeah, I didn't have the bow on. Vambat. Okay, we took a little break and apparently we already... we need to concentrate. Otherwise we will be forced to use them fishes, and I do not want to use the fishes because I have 4 healing relics, which also give energy. And it seems redundant, and it seems to be like really hard if we have to actually use the fishes. Okay, and then there is our first burn damage. Juke those little bats attack, and that thing can shoot from like 3 rooms away. Yeah, this is great. Already at 1.5, and his these guys have a really slow rotation, and that's how you can actually avoid getting hit, but he was like basing us like directly, so this is not an easy dungeon by all means. Like, it's probably the hardest. And it's a blue tier one. There's poison, there's burn, there's a lot of range enemies that do burn, and we can actually take advantage of those exploding monsters now. Because before they were like nerfed not to do damage because they were like in lower tier dungeon. I think it was Arcane Pits, and it was just too easy to do the dungeon if they would actually burn enemies. But now they do burn enemies again, and that is pretty good because it gives complexity to the gameplay. Don't know if I'm going the right direction here, but I'm definitely trying. Okay, so he attacked, we kill him. Oh, there's a vamp bat in there. A vamp bat. The vamp bat. Them vamp bats. So we're gonna go with a little bit of healing here, and let's see. Push through, push through. We're at the start of the dungeon, and we already had to use our healing relics. But at least we went the right way and we got to the dead end. Let's see what we have in here. Vamp bats. Vamp bats everywhere. What was that? Complete misclick. The thing with this game is that it gets easier the more you you do the same dungeon in a row because you get used to the attack patterns and the enemies and the shots, the number of attacks they require to be killed, and it's not easy, bro. Not easy. Not an easy dungeon. But at least after playing around with all the item, all the most of the blue items, I guess, because yeah, I don't have all of them, but I got all the ones that I kind of thought I had the required utility, you know, to purchase and keep them. So definitely don't underestimate the power of this amulet with 5% damage reduction, because for 8k gold is like strong. Very strong. So yeah, I was running it with the rejuvenation ring because like I have the Mark of the Covenant, but the Mark of the Covenant gives energy, it doesn't give health. So it leeches health, but it gives you energy. So I found that I actually needed a lot more health in this dungeon. And I was trying to run because I saw some people running with the rejuvenation ring. And to be honest, once I tried it over the rejuvenation ring, the 5% reduced damage, because you also have poison damage, you also have burn damage, you have so much damage you take in this dungeon. Oh, great, a dead end. We want to hit this dead ends before anything else to get good times on our runs. So yeah, talking about the 5% reduction on the amulet, it goes such a long way versus the 700 health you get from the ring. It's like, I was not expecting it, because like if you do some little math, 5% reduced damage, that's like 300 health, 150 extra health, kind of, like in some kind of stupid math I made in my head, but it goes such a long way. Especially if you get good and avoid getting hit by most enemies. Right, they're strong as hell. And I also tried mid-maxing with vamp leather armor, the one for ranged, and it works really great with the short bow. With the short bow, it is... Oh, I should have like tried to blow that guy up. Come on, die already. Why do we do this to me? Don't do this to me. Yes, I was talking about the range armor. So it works really well with short bows, because you basically, with the short bow you have to do 2 power attacks to kill these guys. With the long bow you have to do 1 power attack and 1 normal attack. You save up on energy, but that's not really a priority. What you want to do is just hit them with as little hits as you can. Try to avoid getting hit by that elite. Gonna pop. Hey, we missed a node. Good. So I have to go back. Let's see if we can get... No way! Come on. I went between. What the hell is this? I'm not even... have 2 rooms that we need to check out. Hopefully this is not the correct way and we will not have to turn around and then turn around again. Yeah, we went the right way. It's a dead end. Nope. Nope. Great stuff. To the first lock-in room. Oh, I didn't even see them. It did some damage, or they didn't? Anyway, let's get the fishies. Like, this is absolutely amazing that you can fish from up here. But the only problem is that, see, if the fishy drops over there, it won't teleport. You have to go down after it, so you have to try and get a good angle. Like, I will probably not get 2 fish in a row, but if the fish would have like jumped from here, it will have fallen right in the pit and it would have teleported where I am. But that was not the case. I had a bad angle and I have to go down for the fishy. Juke that, kill him fast. And boom. Yeah, you really have to pace yourself with this dungeon. It's not about going fast, it's about taking as little damage as you can. Great, you didn't die. Oh, and now it's a miss. Great, even better. Even better. Okay, so let's see. I really want to focus on like completing the runs without eating the fish. God damn it. Or using the health pot, but I haven't used the health pot in like the last 5 runs, so I think we're good with that. But with the fishies, we're still kind of eating them because we were running onto the fire traps. I don't know why, but as you can see, they're visible. I mean, you can clearly see them on the ground if you pay attention. But when there are like 20 monsters like swarming you with vamp bats and everything, you just have to kind of like remember the rooms that had the traps, like here. Because in most cases, like, I was looking at Striker's streams and stuff, and as you can imagine, he does a lot of mining and he does play these indoor maps. I didn't even see the fucking vamp bats, no way. I got raped. But they're clearly more distinguishable for him. They're like almost a different kind of color. For me, it's just a different type of tile, which is like harder to see. But for him, they're a lot more, let's say, no way, brighter. No way, Vampat. Where did you come from, Vampat? Where? Oh man, this is not easy. Not an easy dungeon. To be honest, with the mining, with mining and fishing, I really am thinking of just running the green dungeon up to level 30, because this is just, it's not that it's that hard, but mentally you have to pay attention to a lot more stuff, and it drains you mentally out of energy a lot faster than the other one, and basically they get the same times. So, and the difference in the XP that I'm getting from mining and fishing is like 1k, so that is actually a lot, but it varies because you can miss nodes, and I can get up to 3,500 either fishing or mining in the other one, and here I can get 4,000 max or something like that. But I'm definitely not playing my best because we took a break. Kind of getting our ass handed to us by this dungeon now. And I really didn't want to use the fishes, but it kind of looks like we are going to have to. Kinda does. Look, how to approach this room now. This is crazy insane. I am gonna have to tank some damage here, definitely. Juke something, juke? No, no juking. We cleared the vamp bats at least, that was decent. What? There was a skeleton there, and I didn't see him. Yeah, this is also an issue because I'm playing from a Mac, and it's like the health bars, they have no filler. No progress bars have fillers. Like it's not very intuitive, you know. If the blood wasn't on the screen, that I wouldn't even know that I was dying, you know, because it doesn't jump at you, you know. You can't really see that if you're not paying attention to the numbers. Okay, let's see, because this is not easy. Great, you got to throw your rock at me. Great. Also, streaming from a Mac is a whole another story. It's horrible. Trust me. Like for OBS, I can't even like lock the game, like the game window. I have to basically record my whole screen to record the game. No, that was a trap. And that was a trap again. Okay, we don't want to die. We don't want to die. And we use the health potion, so our goal is already failed. Maybe next run, hopefully, when I get, like, we were so close too. Like, that was a complete waste of a potion here. That now that's not good. So yeah, complete waste of potion. But as you can see, we can manage to clear it without eating or healing with potions and fishes. I'm gonna go grab another potion because like I got burn damage, and that was kind of like, you know, if I don't heal fast enough, I will die. And there was also something hitting me, and like from the panic, rather than like dying, just use a healing potion. But we definitely want to try avoid using consumables, because that's the whole point of farming it. The whole point. And we don't have that many left anyway. and we do not have a lot of gold to buy more, so we wanna pace ourselves. Going for the second one. Let's see if we can pull it better. I don't even know if it's worth it, but like compared to this one, this is like, I can do it with my eyes closed. You take no damage. It's like super mega easy. It's just really long and boring. And like I said, it's basically the same amount of like skills, XP for skills that you get. Because I hit more nodes because I have higher level. But this is actually pretty intense versus the other one. So like the difficulty gap is like huge difficulty gap. Like it's like going from green to epic in my opinion. Even though Irim is like super easy. Like the outdoor ones are definitely a lot more easier because they do not have traps and you have a lot more room to maneuver. But I don't know why I went for mining and fishing, but I definitely like Irim. Great. You blocked me. Thank you. I had to take off full damage from that. I don't even know what I was saying. That was so annoying. So yeah, I was talking about the outdoor dungeons. They're actually pleasant. Like I really like doing Irim. I farmed for the Halloween event. It was the first time I did Irim, and to be honest, I was using the low angle view because it is like, I don't like it. I don't like to play like that. But the advantage you get, and like the fact that you can see monsters before they have a chance to attack you, like you can with this view, you can actually scale this to like be widescreen and actually see a few tiles before the monsters without them attacking you. But like I'm already on a 13-inch Mac, and scaling it even lower, I won't be able to see stuff. I already barely see the skeletons and stuff. So yeah, that doesn't work for us. But in the outdoor maps, the low angle view is like really advantage. Can't pronounce that word. It gives you a huge advantage. Okay, so we are... Okay, so this is one of the monsters that is kind of new to me. It's not easy. We're gonna try and juke it one time. He spins towards us and... Okay, we managed to kill him. He does... If he hits you, he also does burn damage, which is... We don't want that. We do not want that. Those as well, those demon wings, they also do the burn damage. They're not like 100%, but more likely than not they will burn you. For the... They seem like a turret, those little snakes that... like tentacles. For the tentacles, it's definitely a higher chance for the burn damage to apply. Okay, we haven't used anything on what we're at half HP. We can try and juke that. We didn't. We took actually a lot more damage than I wanted. Great. It's actually not great. The misses. It's actually not great to because you... oh man, just die. Oh, that was bad for me. That was bad. That was bad gameplay. Good job. Oh, come on. I don't know. This game just this dungeon is very consuming. It's like really hard, and like most stuff doesn't go exactly like you would want it to. Having such a small monitor like the laptop screen, it's actually pretty bad in my opinion. Not because I can't see the monster or anything, but I feel like my cursor is like... no, that is shitty, man. It's a little bigger than it should be, and it kind of like... if I put it over a skeleton, I don't see the skeleton, man. It's like I don't even know he's there. So I just have to, like, you know, use mental images of where stuff is to hit it, where it will come. Can definitely do that, but a lot of concentration. And yeah, for this dungeon, it's really sad that you can't really one shot or two shot, because everything like remains with like one tiny % of HP after a power shot, like everything. So for most stuff, I went with this build because the melee will kill the pharaohs, or whatever they're called, the big guys. And so I went for the melee armor. Although I don't know if I didn't have the Stampeder, which is with 10% damage. Well, I guess I could have used, because I have an axe and I use the axe, and it's basically the same thing, but it's much slower than the sword, so that damage makes up in attack speed. You basically get an axe with a faster attack speed with this sword. But like concentrating at every little room, and great job. Should have used the relics earlier. Yeah, this is not great stuff. Juking those little bats is hard. Come on. It's not easy. Like, what was that? I think it was from the room on the other side. You saw that? Like, from where that snake was, like, throwing his fireballs from? That was insane. Oh, we got the mini bats now. Great. Yes, I love you, mini bats. Come to me. Kill me. Yeah, and also the fact that I really don't have a headset. I have to actually get some AirPods, or well, they're too expensive. I just have to buy like I'm thinking something from Razer, or no. I don't really like using headsets, but it's kind of impossible to stream because I get double audio if I leave the sound from the game on. Like you can hear the monsters and everything, but I can't. They're muted for me. So yeah, let's try and juke this motherfucker. And a lot more came. Great stuff. Let's hope, yeah, one hit. I think this time we will make it out without using the fishes or the health potion, which I would appreciate, because that would make it one of our best runs in 13 runs so far. And if I can constantly do that, then I can basically farm this instead of the green dungeon, which I also did like 400 runs in, and I'm kind of sick of it. But yeah, so basically I was talking about fishing and mining. I want to get to mine and fishing, the epic one in Irim. I enjoy the dungeon. It's easy. It's not that it's that easy, but it's I don't know. It feels good to grind. It's not that it doesn't consume you mentally. Like for example, this one, like you have to juke everything and have to like concentrate on everything. Like yeah, I'm kind of screwing around. I don't know why I was doing that. But here you have so many ranged mobs, and they swarm you. That's the problem. They swarm you, and this little vamp bats, they just add to the skeletons and the monsters that are already swarming you, and this gets pretty overwhelming pretty fast. But the more times you do it, it becomes a reflex, and it's gonna be easier. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, this amulet is like, I don't know why it's priced that low. I mean, most items, like I said, with the items from the, what am I doing? My running broke. I didn't mean to run in that direction. So basically, yeah, like I was saying, like the price of items is really like all over the place. Like the fact that this amulet is like, people read it's 5% damage reduction, is like, what, I don't need that, that's useless. It's actually stronger than you would think. Like I didn't even give it a second thought when I saw it like in the pool, in the, in the rare relics tier. I didn't even think like to buy it or use it, but I tried all of them, well, most of them, And to be honest, this is actually better than most other relics, even like the blockchain ones that give you speed and reduction and energy consumption reduction. So I used those before even thinking of using this one. Of course, the room locked, but now we have to. And those can die in one single swing. Two of them I can kill with one single power melee power attack. I don't know why I did not do that. But now we have 10 demon wings after us. And we have to avoid that as well. And an archer and skeletons. And I think we are going the right way, which is actually the wrong way. But let's see if we can get this fishy jumping and teleporting to us. No fishy though. So I'm actually thinking of turning around. Oh no. Oh, what happened? Yeah, playing with the map open is like the worst thing you can do. You don't see anything on the screen. Where you have to like juke their attacks and stuff. Oh, haha, lava walk, and we don't have a potion. Awesome, awesome. Okay, but we have the fishes, so let's eat some fishes and grab that. We'll definitely. Okay, that's bad. Like bad. So the way this is actually crazy. I've done lava walks before, but like these chests are pointing towards the lava, and it's like really easy when you open them to catch the burn damage again. So it's like lol, you know. But yeah, kind of burn through the fishies. That was a lava walk. The first one in 13 runs. So we will definitely start coming in here with a fire potion, a fireproof potion. But so far it's decent. Like I'm out of everything, but I avoided more damage than in the previous run, and I am actually going to take damage from this guy. Wow, look at these skills. Yay, vamp bats, my dream. It's not actually a dream, it's a nightmare, the vamp bats, but what can you do? What can you do? Except try and focus. Good, it missed us and we didn't get the burn damage either. But this demon wing might just do that, and it did. We're going down, boys. We're going down. We're going down. But this is the end. Should we force it? Should we force it? 300. I think we already kind of pulled the... Oh no, vamp bat. Vamp bat. GTFO. GTFO. Not using the potion. Oh, that was a lot better. Although we had lava wake, I needed to use the fish. Like, see, I got... What were those XP numbers there? They were like... So it's like infinitely easier mentally from a like burnout perspective to do the green dungeon. Okay. We will definitely I don't even know if I should struggle more with Visum, because like literally it's like, look, I'm gonna run the green dungeon just to prove how easy it is. Not scavenging, fishing, but we already put everything in there, so. Okay, and relics. I'm really thinking of getting a sugar plum sweetie, but this event kind of raped my gold, although I didn't have a lot, so like I only actually spent 300k on it. So I actually just purchased 100 pumpkins because I bought them at 3k. So yeah, I didn't actually buy pumpkins. I just grinded my life away after them. But I stacked up on stuff, so I'm like going for a legendary bow. Maybe for Christmas I can farm some legendary dungeons without like picking up the nodes for the presents, if it's gonna be the same type of event. Anyway, I'm gonna be right back 2 seconds, and then we're gonna run the green dungeon because I think it's more efficient, to be honest. You My doggy is looking at me like, come on, take me outside. What are you doing? So we're gonna just run this green dungeon fast. And then gonna have to take her for a walk. The doggy. The doggy dog. This is so easy. I wouldn't doubt that like sand traps or that slow you, or I don't know, stuff like that, like traps for outside maps are coming for sure, because like there's no incentive to run the inside maps other than for mining the nodes, because they're just so much more, they require so much more concentration. I just want to try and compare a little bit the amount of XP that I get from gathering nodes, because like that last run was really low. We missed most of them, apparently. But the thing is that here we can only get up to legendary blockchain items, which we do want. We actually just want epic drops, or would love some epic relics like Bird's Beak, Feeble Stone, something. Serenity, I don't know if. Let's actually check. Serenity. Because this got changed. So. Yeah, so it was an item that already is depleted. So none are dropping. It was another item and then it got changed for this relic, and yeah, but that is a really good one. But we have to buy it, and yeah, we have to find blockchain items that we don't need, which is like none, because we need all of them to build like builds. You know? To build the builds. Yeah, well, like I said, I did a lot of mid maxing with the Visum Vaults. I don't know exactly what to say. That like these armors, they help you quite a bit. Like the whole point is that you kill the monster in less hits. Okay. So running with the vamp armor, with the ranged armor, that means that I won't be able to one-shot a big guy in a full melee power attack. Like I do a power attack with the two-handed sword on. I actually don't know what the Pharaoh or something. I don't know exactly what he's called. But if I use the range armor, then I won't be able to heal him with one power shot. So yeah. In here it's like a completely different story. I'm kind of not even paying attention right now, so I took quite a bit of damage for this dungeon. I was fighting them with the sword. I usually just power attack through with the bow. Most of them take one hit. Some of them take 2 hits, like the orcs, which are the only ones, and the ignums take 2 hits, yeah, from power attacks. So I'm really like trying to figure out if I should buy the Sugar Plum Sweetie for 67k. And if I do that, then I would be completely invested in like farming this for mining and fishing up to level 30, which wasn't the way I was planning to go about mining and fishing, because actually it's not that I spent shadow stones or something like that. It's just that I kind of wanted, even before the update, I was like, where there were the, whatchamacallit, shallow swamps, yeah, that map, that was a blue map, that was like, I was really excited to get to the blue tier, you know, to leave these greenies behind, but yeah, that doesn't seem to go in our favor. So that map is gone now. And we got two maps, Visum and the other one with the desert, which is for wood cutting and scavenging now. And because of that, well, I would actually prefer to run the desert map with for the nests and stuff, but I only have level 17 in my scavenging and wood cutting, and I would have to go to trial wood, which is again a dungeon I can do without eating and stuff and like using consumables right now. But it's also a lot, like it's not as hard obviously at Visium, but still I have to like juke a lot of attacks, and it's hard to do a lot of runs in a row like that. So and yeah, for this event I was like, Irim is basically the same layout as this map, so I've done this map a lot before Irim, and so when I went to Irim it was just getting used to the different type of monsters, you know, just not the layout. I already knew the layout, and so yeah, that was again a very easy dungeon to do because I already knew the layout. And the monsters are not that hard if you have full epics. Well, full epics meaning weapon and bow. Because for relics, yeah, I was actually pretty lucky. The first blockchain drop I got in this event was the Screamies. I got it after doing this map, and I just went for the Irium, for Isle of Irium with the Screamies, and the Screamies did the trick. The Screamies did the trick. Also the low angle, if you like seriously low angle, guys. This is like, as Striker said, it's like, it's nice for presentation, like it's really nice for presentation. It reminds me of WoW, to be honest, but it's not the way I want to play an action RPG game. I want to play top down. I want to hold shift when I attack, you know, force stop. I want to play it like Counter-Strike. This is actually more like Counter-Strike than top down, but yeah. As you can see in this view, we can see everything before it sees us, so we can basically get the first hit and then we won't take any damage. Except from range. You can actually even see range monsters before, so it's like you also get a clear layout of the room ahead of you and how to proceed and what you want to attack first, what you want to avoid. I actually got pretty good at this camera, even with the kiting. The first 10 runs I did in Irim like this were horrible. Like, I couldn't understand how I can kite, how I can move, but then it just became natural after like 10 runs. But like seriously, this is just kind of dumb in my opinion. Because like I said, you can also try from top down to get like a wide resolution by like going to window mode and squeezing the game, and then going to full window, and then you'll have those black bars on top or bottom of your screen, but the game is stretched really hard and you can like see 1 or 1.5 tiles in front of you, which is like basically the same thing you are doing here, you know. And then you can have a clear I get a more clear vision on how to approach the monsters in the next room. But yeah, currently, you know, we're just trying out different stuff with this game. Like, definitely Cliff is looking at like just testing stuff out with the graveyard rumble and everything. Like, those can be turned into features and like we have adventures. We're gonna have PvP, co-op, and stuff like that. So right now, where the way I look at these dungeons and what the game kind of reminds me, it's not that much of a like Diablo Rift, for example, you know, or like I don't know, Path of Exile dungeons with the map. Like Path of Exile, man, like I wasn't too like impressed about the dungeons. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but I kind of grinded the same dungeons and everything was exactly like the layout of the dungeons is exactly the same, the only thing that changes is the types of monsters you get in the dungeon. So it got so boring so fast, and the fact that I had to like probably wait 1 month to get the bow, the not even the bow, just the right sockets on the bow. Like seriously, I don't know, that game made me feel in a weird way weird. Like at least, you know, in this game you know what you're playing for, you know. You like, I played so many games out of this type of genre, and it's like all I was left with was the experience, you know. But from this game, you don't only get the experience and the fun of playing it, you also like everything, because it's a blockchain game, everything you actually farm, and you know, it actually sticks with you. You can actually do something with it. It has value. I'm not talking about money, because this is not like, I'm not gonna play this game and make in 2 days $1 from Shadowstone drops. You know, that's not the way to approach this. This is not like a play to earn in that type of way daily rewards. But then again, you know, after 1 month of playing, you might get a legendary, mythical, transcendent drop. I wouldn't say transcendent, but maybe I'm actually expecting a mythical to kind of drop. I got a legendary ring or of Vilium. There's stuff in this game is hard to pronounce. Stuff in every game is hard to pronounce. But yeah, an energy. It's basically this ring with energy per second. Only it's for the legendary tier, and there's like only 6 or 7 out. The rest have yet to drop, and it's like that drop actually it's like 1 month salary, you know. So you can go about it that way if you want to like emphasize the play to earn aspect. It doesn't come like gradually, it comes all at once when it comes. But it's not even about that, and I'm not gonna sell that ring because I want to play with it. It's not about making the, you know, getting the drop, selling it, and oh my god, I need to pay my my rent and my bills. No, it's not like that. It's, I get this drop, I can enjoy playing with it, and when I move on or I take a break from the game, and or I need something or whatever, you know, I can definitely move it somewhere else, or just you know, sell it, get the money. It it's not a waste. Like, for example, everything I did in WoW for all the years that I played. And I haven't played WoW in like... I stopped WoW at Cataclysm, I think. I played a little bit Cataclysm. Although I was doing mainly PvP anyway, so I wasn't like going for those insane raids and PvE. But when I was playing, I don't know if anybody like, but I was on the server with Paragon, which was like the best guild. Why am I not hitting, guys? Hit. It was like the best guild worldwide. So I went in like a few raids with their PvP characters and stuff like that. It was amazing. Like I did PvE a little bit as well, but basically just for the items that I needed in the arena, because you could use some at that time in Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah. Took me 4 seasons to get to Gladiator, so I only played for like 4 seasons, and that was it. The rest is history. I had some Naxxramas, like I remember because I got this crazy title in here, the Immortal, and it reminded me of Naxxramas because like in the 25 men raid, so you had 10 men and 25 men raids. And in the 25 men raid, if none of your raid would, if you would clear the dungeon, you know, the raid, without anybody in your group, so nobody had to die. If nobody in your group died, you would get this title, the Immortal, you know. If you would have done it in 10 men, that's where I did it with some friends. I did it in a 10-man group, and we didn't die. And if you did that, you got the title the Undying, you know. So I didn't have the Immortal, but I had the Undying, and I didn't get to in time to find a group in time to get the Immortal on the 25-man raid back then. But I was rocking that Undying title a lot because I was playing Undead, and I guess here we are with the zombie, right? With the zombie skin. Undead. So these titles actually just remind me of the stuff I was doing in WoW. You know, like that's why I was rolling a Gladiator title. It feels nostalgic. Go. Yeah. Oh, when we were pretty lucky with the titles, we got all the titles from the event except the Ruler of Death, which was the second Transcendent title that dropped from the scrolls. But seriously, I didn't even care at that point. I was farming so much for the mark and for everything else that at least I'm happy I got a Screamy and the mark. Like, those were the most important things, and they dropped. The rest were just bonuses, in my opinion. And I really wanted a Peekaboo virtual relic. I actually used it on whatchamacallit, Warden, and with one melee attack, one power attack from an axe melee, I got him. I did 50% damage. I took down 50% of his health with one power attack with the Peekaboo brew. And but like I said at the start of the stream, man, the prices, like, grab them now because like it's redundant. How can an epic relic that saves your life, makes you invisible 3 times, you know, like a cheat death button, as well as, you know, you can have that option like rogue backstabbing and doing that extra damage. I don't think, I do strongly believe that when PvP is gonna be introduced in this game, like, because of the balancing aspect of stuff, like, I don't think you can use all the relics in there. So there will probably be specific stuff that you can just carry in, like with the graveyard event inside the arena, for example. You know, like you had in WoW PvP items and PvE items. It's probably gonna be something like that because although I have longed to see a game since Diablo 2 that actually had the same items in PvE and PvP. Although it wasn't the fairest game, it still was fun. Like, a game like that should really, really be like. And I know Cliff is trying because, like, you have all this preset damage stuff, you know, and this preset health and this stuff, and it doesn't scale with your level, which is like really, really different from other games in this genre, which is like awesome. Like, this is a really cool approach, this game, on the genre, especially with this like swapping between weapons. uh, it just feels like Counter-Strike, you know. It's Counter-Strike with a ranged bow and a sword instead of a knife and a gun. It's like pretty fun. It's like combining the best of both worlds. And for PvP, because like obviously that's what I'm going to do in this game when it comes out. Only that. Obviously, I would do some dungeons and stuff. Oh, I can't wait for co-op as well. I guess I'll play the whole game, but like PvP is my bread and butter. Let's call it that. It would be definitely like different items so that will bring balance. Like, for example, that Peekaboo Brew would be amazing in PvP. It would. But the fact that these items are so limited, like, it would give other players a huge advantage over people that started late, and that will cause, like, obviously being a game, uh you should have certain, benefits from playing early, like, I know, being more powerful and winning more easily. But for PvP and for 2021, seriously, like, I know that's not the way games are going. That's not the direction things will be heading towards. Mainly because people complain a lot, like, people put a lot of soul in the games that they play now, and people are also like, it's not only with games, but like the way we live, it's moving faster and faster, like, we are more and more incentivized to go for that instant gratification. So somebody that would just be late to the party would just feel very, very bad and will not continue playing the game, and it will affect player retention. And so I can completely understand. But like I said, I would love for a game to actually try, because it's not easy, to balance, like, items that you use in PvE so you can use them in PvP as well. Like, that is something that no game has mastered until now. Like, nobody actually took the effort to try and do that. And the fact is that I'm not expecting that from this game, or I'm not even like saying that he should do that, Cliff should do that, because, like, there's no point. Like, the first is the fact that he started with the PvE, and if you don't start with both of them together, then you can't really balance them out, because, like, you're trying to build a game, you're building it in PvE, and you're building stuff for PvE. Once you add PvP, then like everything that goes from PvE will be used against other players, and some stuff would definitely not have would be overpowered in player versus player versus then just killing monsters in dungeons. So if you take a game and you start both PvE and PvP at the same time, then you can actually try and add item by item and try to balance it in both aspects. But the fact that PvP versus PvE are just so different, having to group and kill mobs and stuff like that versus just single target damage like with the players, is just overly complicated. But yeah, like I said, no, I don't know any game that took this approach in building items that both work in PvP and PvE. I think Path of Exile. I haven't played PvP in Path of Exile, but I know Path of Exile has something like that. Which Path of Exile is a very very good game, but it's just like they I played it a few years ago and then I played it recently. Actually, I played it on a PlayStation 4 just before starting Lost Relics. And they added so much since the last time I played the game. They added just so much, so much stuff, so much like mini games and everything. Just like I felt so overwhelmed when I started playing again, and the fact that, like I said, I was gonna have to like roll a billion years on items just to get the proper, sockets so I can link my spells. Like, don't get me wrong, it's an awesome game. It's like a different approach as well, like with that crazy talent tree. Although some other games like Volkland, and I played Volkland as well. Volson or whatever the hell it's called. Volson, I think. Yeah. That had a really cool approach as well towards this genre. I kind of enjoyed it, but again, it was something you just play and then you quit. It's not blockchain. You play, you get the loot, you delete the game, you have nothing. Just time wasted. Well, not wasted because you had fun, I guess. Did you? Did you have fun? Like, if I could go back and like, I started playing this game about 2 months ago, but my account was active since the game was actually called Forgotten Artifacts. So, like last year, I think. Last year, I logged in. I I did like the starting quest or something, and back then there was nothing in the game. Nothing except one dungeon that was actually infinite, and you had levels. So the first level, you after you reach the end, it's like exactly the same as the dungeons are now. It was basically just the inside dungeon, the one that looks like Visum and all the others. So it was that dungeon, and when you got to the end, you had two doors instead of one red and one blue. And if you took I don't remember exactly, but if you took, I think, the red one, you would go outside and save your gear, and if you took the blue one, you would just advance further, and then you would have to reach the end. So to get out with the items, but the loot and difficulty increased by the level of dungeons the further you went in. So for those you had to use adventure stones. So adventure stones were like some kind of tokens that were actually, you had to either play of another dungeon that didn't drop blockchain, but it had a chance, and not a high one, to drop adventure stones that you could use in that endless dungeon to go for the blockchain loot. So I actually have these two weapons. I have it from that 1 or 2 hours I played when the adventure stones were like you would start the game and you had like 5 adventure stones. So I wasted all those 5 adventure stones. I think I died quite a few times, but blockchain items were dropping like crazy because I played 1 or 2 hours and I wasted all those 5 adventure stones. And at one point, I said, I'm not gonna go further in. I'm gonna try and get out with something. I wasn't even like thinking about the how much or the worth of the blockchain items were. Like it was like really the NFT hype. Anything it didn't even start. Like there was nothing about NFTs back then when the game was called Forgotten Artifacts. It was basically just proof of concept, and then proof of concept. Cliff came up and made a game about it. And so yeah, so I was actually pretty lucky when I logged in like 2 months ago and I saw that I had the blockchain items on my account. I was like, what the hell? you know like, hell yeah. I can do greenies. But it was insane, because I completely forgot about the game. I didn't even know. I was like, okay, so this is the game. You have to either purchase adventure stones, with real money, and then get NFTs, So that was my thought pattern. Well, it kind of was like that at that time. So it was basically a pay to win, Like, okay, so I have to pay money to go in these dungeons to maybe find loot and not die. We missed a fish. We're definitely going back for that fishing pool spot. But yeah, so like I said, I was playing Path of Exile a little bit on console because I really started oh my god, it just crossed my mind. I've been thinking about this like, and in game there is, I'm not even joking, like here, controller. I want to use a controller to play this game, but I haven't even tried it because like the complexity of the mouse and keyboard options right now, I don't think they will allow me to set a controller up, because basically the movement will have to be like hold down left click to move. How would I do that on a controller? Like, I don't know if it works or if anybody ever tried playing this game with a controller, but I want to play it with a controller. Like, that would be the best thing that can, like, imagine this game and a blockchain game on console. If you can get it to work on a controller, and come on, like, everybody did them on controllers now. Like, that's insane, playing Diablo 2 on controller and stuff like that. It's yes. I don't want a mouse and keyboard anymore. We're not there yet. It's too vintage mouse and keyboard. But yeah, a controller would be great. I even forgot what I was talking about because I got super excited about the controller stuff. I would love to play this top down with the controller. Like, it would even probably be better, in my opinion, the gameplay, because right now it's really really weird, like with the mouse, like moving the mouse all over the place to move, to attack, to with a controller. I think it would make the game a lot more smoother for melee especially. Like, I think it would go a huge way adding controller, like an Xbox or PlayStation controller, to this game. Just from the melee perspective, like juking attacks with the controller would be so much better. So much better. But yeah, I was talking about what was I even talking about? I was talking about playing Path of Exile and stuff. Uh-huh. Well, from like I said, how the game was the first time I with the adventure stones, and like the fact that you had to buy tokens to enter the dungeons was like, that's why I just played the like 5 adventure stones that I had, and I didn't have money to put in the game, so I can just, play the game. Like, I don't want to pay to play, you know. And as well, like you do now with the power pendants, you kind of need to, but not really, because you can farm the gold and then you can have other people that purchase the pendants, so you can get, you can give them the gold and you can get pendants that way, so if you do not have like real money to buy the pendants, you can still get, the full access to the game just by playing it and grinding the gold, which is like amazing. And he really built, like Cliff really built a nice economy around everything, with people allowing to sell, the pendants and stuff like that. Like, it's stuff like this that makes a great game, you know the fact that you have the option to, save your time by putting money in the game, or, you know putting the time in the game instead of your money. Like, having that option is like one of the best features that a game can have in this day and age, to be honest. Because look, take Path of Exile for example. It's free, okay? They make money just from the cosmetics, but again, you play, and when you stop playing, all the time that you invested and the money from the cosmetics, they're gone. Woof, and it's gone. you know so yeah, I'm just like the only heavy game I grinded a lot of games, even Diablo 3, although it's kind of like I grinded it till the point that it became so redundant, like so redundant, like so redundant. And like I was like, what am I doing in this game? Like, why am I even playing at that point? It's not fun. I tried everything. I'm doing the same stuff over and over. There is no depth. So the worst part about Diablo 3 that it had no depth. Like the depth that you would have with the talent tree in Diablo 2, with like only that, like the Amazon skill. It just that's the one that sticked with me. The fact that you can just add one more arrow to your attack, which is each skill point. That just seemed like, and it is such an old game, that just seemed that like the variety you could get from the talent points and from the building, the fact that you had so much depth in building your class, so that it would not be similar to other players and it would be fine-tuned by your play style. That's why I'm like, I know Cliff probably has like some idea of what he wants to do with the skills and stuff. I kind of like understood how well, magic is gonna be something like enchanting, when you probably gonna enchant your weapons and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff in the game, if you read the description of the items, that like, for example, I'll show you one because I know this one is the one that Kingslayer pointed out, and it's actually pretty cool. So the Pride of Ignis, I think it's called. Okay, so where are you? Oh, let's just go like that, because apparently I'm not good with names. So it's the mythical bow. Here it is. Pride of the Black Ingress, not Ignis. So this has the 10% attack speed, right? And it says limit is small to master stock boost. So basically, it says that this bow was enchanted by a master, whatever you call it, you know? So it's basically a bow that already has like an enchant on it. So I believe that's what you kind of can do with enchants when he's, because you know you have the papyrus papyrus. Okay, so the papyrus scrolls and stuff like that, and they would probably just give a limited amounts of times, like let's say you enchant a weapon and for the next 30 minutes it does 10% more damage or something like that, you know, because with those scrolls or stuff like that. But when you talk about gameplay, like the gameplay loop is great. Okay, the dungeons are kind of long and like but it, just keep in mind that the whole game is not here yet. So like the fact that monsters and their attacks and stuff are getting like ranged, archers were not even in the game since like the last patch, you know, the patch that introduced forging. So yeah, dungeons are definitely gonna get a lot more complex. Like I said, probably these outdoor maps will get some kind of sand traps and stuff like that, you know, like for the woods you can have venomous plants, and you know, don't walk in their area or they'll slow and eat you and poison you and stuff like that. So yeah, again, that would make great controller action when it's gonna, if it's gonna be added, because like I don't really see this being a mobile game. Like it even says on the website that it's probably gonna be mobile and, you know, iOS and Android. But to be honest, the way I see this game on mobile is just having this, like you have the skills, you know, you have the action house, you have your inventory, and then you can craft. And because right now the game, and it's supposed to be like that, you run from the stash to the different like the workbench for the engineering and the cooking pot, and you know, you have to run, and running around you can only take 18 items with you at the same time, and running around takes a lot of time. So most of the time it's not spent while basically crafting the item, is wasted. So most time is wasted running back and forth, you know, between the anvil and the stash. So what he can do with that is that in the game app, which is exactly your account, you have all your stash, you can have the action house, you can sell, you can buy, and then you can have the skills that you can just craft. And you buy items from the action house, obviously. They end up in your stash, and then from your stash you can grow your skills on your mobile phone, um, by crafting, you know, your production skills, I mean. That would be actually pretty awesome. And the way you can balance this out is like, for each item you craft, it gets an increased timer versus the in-game timer, just to make up for the time that it takes you to run back and forth from the stash to the anvil or whatever profession you're trying to grow. That would be cool because it will let people, you know, because professions, they go up to 120. So Howling Mad, I think it's woodcutting. Howling Mad, like the best player in the game, he has 120 woodcutting. And so the professions are not even half here. So if you look at the professions right now, they go up to level 40 and a little bit above. But basically at 40 you can mine the legendary nodes, and that's where the game ends at the moment with crafting, with the production skills, I mean. So imagine how much depth there is, and you will probably be able to, once we move on to Infinity on Polkadot and stuff like that, and players can actually mint items at lower costs. They will be able to mint them by themselves. You can will probably be able, with forging for example, to craft legendary gear, you know. Not legendary gear, blockchain, I mean. You can craft blockchain gear at that point. But right now, with the current infrastructure with Ethereum and Engine, it's pretty expensive. Like, uh, do you want me to rant a little bit about crypto? Like, you know, I put $120 in the game. I'm not gonna lie, I did it. I wanted to, and I used it to purchase my epic weapons, but I just basically, more than that, I just wanted to see how the network behaves, and you know, just experiment with what it takes to move money around and stuff like that. First of all, so the backstory: Shiba Inu. Yeah, before it started again to, you know, go up and stuff like that, like Shiba Inu, I don't really care about it, to be honest. But like in the start of the year, or last year, I think it was last year, to be honest, or no, I think it was this year. I actually can't really remember. Anyway, I had some Shiba Inu that I bought. Like, I had a friend buy it for me, and I was like, I had a lot more money on at, like, he had more. He had like $300. I made a profit of on some other coins on his account for like $300 or something like that. And then I was like, okay, I was talking to a friend at the start of the year. Okay, it's fun, or half the mid of the year, I don't even remember. Anyway, right when it started crashing, you know, like exactly the hype train. I was like, okay, lol, you bought some Shiba Inu. It's not good to buy it. It's gonna not really gonna go up, but it can go up. Who the fuck knows? Look at Dogecoin. And I was like, okay, dude, come on, let's join the fun train, you know. I'm gonna buy some Shiba Inu too, just for the lols. But from, it's not a lot of money. I was just playing around with it, so that's why it's like $300. I was like, okay. Um, I told this friend, whom had my $300, to buy some Shiba Inu, some. But what ended up happening is that he bought Shiba Inu for the whole profit I made on other coins, you know, for the whole $300, and um, and obviously it went down. I was like, the next day I was like, so did you get me Shiba Inu? Yeah, I got you. Okay, good. What price? How much? And you're like, for you had $300 and I bought for all. What? No. What did you do that for? You should have just spent $100, but not the whole money. And yeah, it ended up like dropping, obviously. Like, I wasn't even expecting it to go up, you know, it was just a trollolol buy. And I was left with like $150 in it, so it went down by 50% or something like that. And I knew at one point it was gonna go up again and stuff like that, because, like, as you can see, there's so many noobs entering the crypto space, which is unbelievable. Like, seriously, just because Elon Musk's talks some little shit about Dogecoin, it blows up. Like, memes are like, yeah, memes over functionality for the win, apparently. Because, like, well, what do you expect? The times we live in, people are just more ignorant than ever, but whatever. So we were just talking about Shiba Inu. So let's keep that side note. So yeah, so I had this Shiba Inu, and like right, I don't know, let's say 1 month ago, I was like, okay, fuck that Shiba Inu. I have $100. I want to, you know, let's try and put that $100. Well, it was 150. Let's try to put that 150 in the game. It would help me get me to higher levels. So what ended up happening is that instead from that $150, because again, like, it's not a lot of money, but it's annoying how the taxes pile up, because this is what I actually wanted to get at. So for that $150 to take it out of Binance, I had to pay $24, okay? So now I have the engine, okay? So I sold it for engine, and to take it out, I was left with $120 in engine. So now engine is in my wallet, okay? I sent it and it's in my wallet. Now the engine have to convert to JumpNet. Duh. On their layer 2 solution. So that's where I had to I moved over about $400 of Ethereum into that wallet to convert it to JumpNet. And obviously I had a problem with the nonce, and my transactions were stuck, and the gas fee is like incredibly, how should I put this, for the engine wallet. Like, it every time I send, like, if you send Ethereum, let's basically say the gas price wasn't that high back then, like when I sent the money, so it's like $5 or something like that. But for me to move the $120 of engine that I had to JumpNet, to JEng, it took me $200. So imagine that I spent more moving the money around than the actual money that I got in the game. It's like, yeah. So I have some Polkadot as well. I have it since a long time ago. Well, I actually been checking out Polkadot since way before it had that double digit removed, because it was like they added 2 digits to Polkadot last year, I think, or at the start of it. Man, this time flies when you're trying to learn code and play this game. Like, I don't even know where the last 2 months went, because I've been playing this nonstop. But I'm really looking forward to Polkadot, to be honest, and for the Infinity engine, Infinity thingy that they're doing, because, like, yeah, like, no thank you. It took me $250 to move $100 here. Basically, that's the math. Okay. So if you're not gonna move at least $1,000, I mean, in the game, it's like, why bother? You're gonna pay more in taxes, like in fees, not taxes. I'm so used to taxes. Oh, you missed. He missed. Damn zombie. But you see how easy this dungeon is compared to the other one. Like, I couldn't even concentrate on ending a sentence because I was getting raped by a pack of mobs in the other one. And in this one, it's like, lol, 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 I'm doing nothing. You can hit. I'm 3,000 health. I'm 3,000 health in this view, and I literally didn't even pay attention to what I was doing. Like, look at it. this dungeon versus the next tier. So this is 3 swords, okay, mining and fishing, and that one is 4 swords, mining and fishing, the blue one. Amazing. Amazing. I have 46 left on my rejuvenate. So yeah, life, crypt, lost relics. Woohoo! I just checked the raid, the chat. Petty raid, petty raid. So, what do you think? Should I just farm this dungeon to get level 30 mining and fishing, or try Visum? You saw how horrible Visum is. So we did two, right? Yeah, we did 2. I actually would like to try and get into contact with Cliff to try and get some kind of like, maybe he can give me an API so I can get some data and try to make an adventure log for the game with something like this, you know, like how many of what runs you did, how many monsters you killed, which run gave what, how many shadow stones you ended up getting, and yeah, stuff like that. Because some don't even show like what is under 50 shadow stones, or 40. I think they don't even show in the overseer. So but I'm like really new to Twitch, but I absolutely love you guys and the community and everyone, and for sending your viewers to me, because I watch you guys like crazy. I learned the game from you guys, and in 2 months, and it's an amazing game. And shout out to Patty, to Vicky Queen, to everybody. I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to get some AirPods or a Razer headset, because I need to start working on these streams. Because I play a lot, and it's just sad to play alone, you know? It's right now with no co-op, man, I can't wait for co-op as well. It's gonna be sick. Sick, I tell you. Man, I really wish, the only thing I wish from Cliff, and I don't know how hard it is, or like, I actually been working as a quality assurance game tester for most of my time. Although I know some development, I also developed like a little. I can't say I developed. I just played around in Unity, but I also played with C# code. Back then it wasn't so modular. Everything was like, now you don't even need to write a single line of code and you can build games. I was like, oh, you know what I remembered? Like that down week for Lost Relics. I was already hooked on the game, so I was just like waiting for Lost Relics to get online, and what I was doing is I was I ended up finding all these game jams and stuff like that, like I didn't even know about. And I saw so many people like making games in a few days from scratch with incredible, like, you know, perspectives and ideas, and the themes were amazing. And I ended up watching like all that I could find on game jams and stuff like that. And like I realize now that, you know, game development like got like, I don't know, it's like Photoshop with layers and stuff like that. Like it's kind of easy, I guess. Well, it's not easy. I wouldn't be able to do it if I wouldn't just spend a few months learning the stuff. But it's just like coding has gotten just more and more in the background for everything, for web development, for everything, you know, just everything just gets put to the side. And like we as humans are obviously meant for visual interfaces, not lines of code, you know. It's very simple for us to grasp a concept in a visual matter than a logical one. And I guess that is our downfall, because we will end up not knowing how stuff works behind the scenes, because we just know how to drag boxes around. But yeah, that's not the case. That's definitely not the case with the Lost Relics. Like, you can't, that's such an understatement. Like, this game is so unique. Like, you know what? The only thing that is not unique in this game is the monsters. Like, you know, where the assets they're from Unity store, I believe, because I know these assets. I There was a mobile game called Arch Hero, and it used the same monster assets like for most stuff, like the skeletons for sure, the snakes if I'm correct, like. And you can't even, I don't know, this is not at all like, oh my god, this game is made with free assets and stuff like that. It's like this game is like, he put free assets together in such a great concept that is just, it doesn't, the way the monsters look, it doesn't even matter. You know. That's what it's about. It's just they fit in perfectly, and there's not really anything else, you know, about it. They're like designed for the maps and everything. But yeah, so that just gives to show you how much experience and how much experience Cliff has in the game development, you know, aspect of, like, obviously it's his whole life's career, but like building something so unique, like, you know, these things, like, somebody can come and redesign the game. Like, to be honest, I don't know how many of you are doing this, but like I could definitely see like some 3D models that you guys like. I don't know how to. I use Blender a little bit. I played around, but not gonna get into that, to be honest. It's, I have a friend that designs jewelry in programs, in 3D programs like that, but it's not my cup of tea. So, but I can imagine if there's somebody that, you know, he can design a boss, he can design his own character, and I'm pretty sure that like with the right, you know, backstory and intent, with it kind of can get added to the game, you know, at this point, because it's like, it's a good mashup of 3D assets. Let's leave it at that. It's a really good mashup. Yep. The games. that it really gives it gives to show, like, the real stuff that you need to focus on, so to build a great product. It's not like taking or designing visually, creating unique 3D models or stuff like that. No, it's the gameplay and the way you blend it with the gameplay together and everything. It's like, so you can clearly see his experience from the fact that he did not waste time, with getting especially because it was a solo project, like not getting a team to do and waste time with the visual aspect of the game in that sense, like. And like I said, at any point uh, in time, if there would be so, and he gets a 3D modeling team to build characters and, like, let's say redesign the monsters, the dungeons, like that, without these free assets, um that can just like take one patch, because it's just a facelift. It's nothing else. It did, like, the gameplay and the mechanics are everything that matter right now. And like everything else, like, let's say you can go from this game to Diablo, like that, just the models, well, basically you would have to figure out the hitboxes and everything, like, you have to keep them the same and stuff like that. But like, from a development point of view, it's like it would take time, but it would just take one patch, and this could just look as good as Diablo 4, for example, because Diablo 3 is shit. Candies everywhere, candies. But another thing, like, regarding the visual aspect, I love the fact that, oh my god, and I don't have relics, but I saw one that freezes, and like it freezes the monster in a ice cube or something like that, like, it's amazing. Well, it's not really an ice cube, it's basically just ice, it freezes the monster in the ice, and you can, the visuals are amazing. Clearly, for every relic, the visuals are amazing, and that's where it counts, not because like the monster model, you can change it from just, yeah. But you can see that he knows exactly where to put the time to design, to visually appeal, for the visual design to appeal for the users in the relics where it matters. Like, each relic has really, really cool effects. That's what I'm trying to get at. And unique. And I kind of just got, I don't have Tears of Serenity, but I had that peekaboo. I managed to get my hands on it, and I saw that is the kind of the invisibility effect. I haven't used the potion yet, so I don't know exactly, but it kind of makes you, a black cloud around you, and it's like the same for Serenity as well. It gives you invisibility, gives you that black cloud, so it's nice from that perspective that you have like unique animations to associate with different actions in the game, let's say. That's really good, Wonderful game, man. Wonderful, wonderful. I just can't stop. I've been playing for 2 months and I cannot stop, and I haven't coded. And I'm like a junior, I need to code. I need to. Otherwise, it you forget, and then you have to learn it again. But when you learn it again, you learn it faster, but still you have to do it's the same with, anything. Like, coding is a skill and you have to grind every day. The same with mining and fishing. Although it's, yeah. So yeah, I'm like really thinking about shooting two birds with one stone here and asking Cliff for some kind of API to the server to make an adventure log. Basically, you kind of have one in the like the here. You already have one, you know, but I wanna like do it in a more like visual way, you know. So yeah, that is great working with APIs. So I'm pretty sure like all the things that I have in mind to do with the adventure log are already available on the API from the server that you already used for the game page, you know, for the official website. I mean, like, I just don't think, cause like I am evasive in asking about this stuff because it is at a very, you know, incipient step in the process of developing this game. It's still in the early stages, so basically if he would give out an API, you would have access to that kind of data, you know, even if he gives, you know, I get a special key and stuff and I have access to it, you know, like I would have like sensitive data in terms of, you know, other people's data, like how many drops, what drops, how many dungeons, what's with the drop rates, you know, because that stuff is not quite that transparent, and it's not intended to be transparent in my opinion right now, mainly because there he definitely is adjusting them, like he's just, and the fact that like you have this limited pools of items, you know, it's nothing like in Diablo or the other type of games, like you know, in the sense that if you have 500 items, you know, like let's take the marks for example, because those were crazy, yeah. You know, they have a 0.1% chance to drop, let's say. I'm not saying that's the chance, but I'm just speculating, okay, just doing a little bit of math here. So you have the marks of death, which have like 0.1% chance to drop, you know. I've been grinding games like WoW, and there's some stuff in there that has like 0.01% chance to drop. But I know with enough time doing the same thing, you will eventually hit that 0.01%, right? Well, in this type of NFT games, it's not that simple because it's the first 500 people that hit that 0.1%, you know? So it's basically it's not a 100% chance that it will drop for you, even if you put in the time. So this is like the whole thing that separates this the NFT games from the already existing, you know, action RPG games from this genre. So basically, like, okay, I want like for real now. Like, let's take a real use case. Like, we already got at the end. Well, see this dungeon. But yeah, let's take. What? I missed something. And there was the legendary right there, the blockchain legendary, and I was running and talking and I didn't even realize. Okay, so let's take for example, I have to go walk the dog, I forgot. Doggy, we go. Okay, so let's take, yeah, for example, Pride of the Black Ingress. There's 14 left. Okay, so let's assume that a mythical, you open, let's say I open 2,500 pumpkins for a mark, so let's say you open 5,000 chests, and then you have like in 5,000 chests you can get Pride of Black Ingress, you know, like that 0.1% chance, let's say. But if you don't hit that 0.1% roll in by the time they disappear from the pool, then you just have to buy it off the auction house. You know, so it's kind of like that. It's like I cannot, like, so for example, I want that item, okay? It's the item, let's say that is the item that I most want in the game. I know that if I play and put in the time, I have like more chances for it not to even drop for me. But then I have the other stuff. I know another legendary or mythical or whatever is gonna drop, and then I can sell that and get the bow that way, you know, by trading items with each other. So it's like a different concept right now that is like you can clearly understand why there's no transparency with this stuff, because they're like constantly being tweaked. And even with the event, you know, like uh I didn't play the Easter event, but I understood that they were like 2000 daily users for that event, you know, because obviously it was the NFT hype, you know, and okay, let's get NFTs, let's play Lost Relics and get free NFTs and then stop playing. But you know, like he clearly, you could see from the item pools that he expected more people to be online, and because of that those pools didn't get depleted fast enough. And that's why this Halloween surprise was that, because like almost none of the virtuals, and I guess some people, I can see how some people can get upset now because they invested their creepy coins into the virtuals that ended up just you know, getting it for free now, or 20k. You can get a peekaboo brew for 20k gold on the auction house. Like on the Emporium. I keep saying auction house. So yeah, it's like I can definitely see that. But the thing is that uh, these numbers are like constantly changing, and imagine when there's not gonna be like it is now 400 people online at one time. It's gonna be 10,000 people online at the time. So you getting your hands on the item you actually want, it's gonna be even more close to impossible than it is now. So like it's a whole, like, you don't grind for items, you know. You don't go like I kill this boss and I get that item. You don't do that. You just grind, and then you just like recycle what drops, you know, something like that. Like it's a whole different mentality about the items for this genre of games. So well, I'm gonna go walk the doggy, and I will be back later. So we did this, yeah? Don't tell me I put here. No. So see you guys in a bit.